Hello, welcome to Karma on Deck. I'm Karma. This is your weekly reading for the sign of Leo for September 17th. How did we get into fall already? I can't tell you that I'm upset about the weather because it gets down in the 70s and 69, something like that, for in our city. So even if it gets hot during the day, I feel like I have a little respite. Let's take a look and see what the Leo reading is looking like for the week. I had to take that birdie out. He's going to yell at us. All right, here we go for Leo. Oh, I'm feeling inspired to shuffle one more time. Ooh. After this, I am going to do Virgo by special request. Ooh, Eight of Swords. So if you want to see the cards, they're picture in picture on YouTube. You can take a look at them on there. It makes it a little easier because I forget to show them to you. So first thing that comes up is Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords feeling a little bit as if you have too many things on your plate. I call this one the batting cage. And the reason why I say that is I remember this one time being in a batting cage and just having a really good time, but the fast pitch that was coming didn't give me an opportunity to like celebrate in between the hits that I was taking and knocking out. I couldn't even turn around to say, hey, oh, look, I nailed it. And boom, another one's coming for my head. So it's that fast pace where you don't feel like you can catch up. And because of that, you have a little bit of tunnel vision. And tunnel vision is good when you have something you need to focus on, but when you have a lot of things popping up, it has a tendency to make us feel a little bit out of control. And so we don't know which thing to focus on first, what direction to take. And so sometimes we have our blinders on. There is just no time except for to focus on it. Maybe it's crisis after crisis, or maybe it's literally one task after another, or you've taken on too much, or my favorite thing is to say no, right? It's the most powerful word you can come up with without explaining, quantifying, or apologizing for your answer. So sometimes we do these things because we want to help, and I do know that our communities need us, our families need us, and things are a little chaotic, but sometimes you just have to take care of yourself. It's making you a little short-tempered, whatever the situation is, and we have this here to prove it, which is the Knight of Swords. Unlike Cancer, where we had the emotions bubbling up, I feel like you have this temper bubbling up. So exercise a little self-control. And if you don't have that self-control, it's because your cup is empty. So when you're overstimulated and you're operating at, like, you ever been so stressed out? I was talking to Bufang about about triggers, right? And how, when you're overstimulated and when your reserves are low. For example, when I was moving, I was, chaos one episode after another, right? I was, moving in the heat and people showing up or not showing up and having equipment and not movers, having movers and not equipment. It was just one thing after another. And social media. And then all these little events kept kicking, and I was triggered by another event. And you just don't have the capacity to cope the same when your cup is empty. When you have a lot going on and people dragging from every direction, you start to get a little depleted. And so you don't have as much to offer. And then when you do give it, it's in resentment because you don't get your needs met. So I am seeing the Eight of Swords. Maybe you can pull back. I would recommend saying no to everything that you can, catching yourself a break, like even if it's for a day, although I would recommend a week. Because when you only do a day, you have a tendency, sorry, I'm coaching here. I shut up and move on to the reading. But when you have, one day, you're going right back into the fray, so to speak, and you don't have this opportunity to really rehabilitate. So that's what you're needing right now, Leo, is a recalibration, rehabilitation. You have the Temperance card, which is looking at yourself. So maybe you're doing these, I call this the shoulds, where you're taking the hammer and you're banging your own self over the head with it. And the world does enough of that to each other, ourselves. So it's not really necessary for you to should yourself. But I do see yourself putting your behavior and your ideals on the line and taking a look at like what I did and what I'm doing, and, losing a little bit of hope. And just like Cancer, because it's current signs tend to play with some of the same energy a little bit, especially for your cusp people, but we have the Fool card for you too, and the Strength card. So what's different about those two cards is in their correlation to one another and how they're showing up for you. We have the Fool card, like I was saying, to Cancer. That's about crossroads and opportunity. And what I mean by that is sitting there with these opportunities. Now, you could have a great job, love your benefits, but something else intriguing comes up and you're like, wow, do I really mess up a good thing and take a risk? you know, or do I stay where I'm at and enjoy this path that I'm on? Seeing the Strength card for you as well. And if you were listening to Cancer, you could hear my analogy for that. And the Strength card really is about pulling on our reserves and mastering our, not our demons, but mastering our emotions. And I feel that you're having a struggle with that right now. You do have the Eight of Wands, in addition to the Eight of Swords. Notice your eights might be a number for you this week too. And then the Eight of Cups, Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. I'd be curious to see if the Eight of Pentacles comes up too. But you're just trying to keep things in balance right now. Keep a strong, like you're trying to pay attention and make good decisions about your money. See the balancing here? That's a Libra deal. You're just trying to bring some ideas to fruition. And you have the Four of Coins, which is looking for money. And if you notice up here, he is like looking for ways to make things happen and looking at his money and trying to bring it in real. On this one, into the 3D, this one right here is the Six of Coins. And that's him looking to bring his ideas about money into life, okay? We have the Queen of Wands, so you might be a little nurturing toward others in your work environment. The Eight of Cups tells me, so the Eight of Cups and the Eight of Wands represent speed. Eight of Cups, speed in relationships. Remember, love and money is the same energy, but I use that analogy, but this is right here is my batting cage, but then here feels like you're going to lose track of your schedule. Here, things are going to be moving too quickly emotionally for you to keep up. So you got to recalibrate a little bit. I mean, like I said, say no always for a couple days. I'm also feeling that you have a little bit of miscommunication that's going on with individuals. We have our Mercury card, the Magician. So this is all about speaking and understanding. So you may be of two different minds. And indecision is really... Peekaboo. Okay. So we have the Two of Wands, which is our indecision. And so you might find yourself of one mind and then another and feeling like you're being kind of cast in between these two paths. And you might even be between two different individuals, and the fact that you have these opinions that are being required of you and being asked. So should you go this way or should you go that way? And you might even feel as if people are asking too much of you right now when it comes to that. I would rely on your intuition with the High Priestess in play. Your intuition is spot on right now. So I would keep an eye on how you feel about things, not just about how you think. Let's pull a card for you from Mystic Dreamer for your moon reading, for your Leo moon. Bravo. Peekaboo. That's a fit if you can't be in here with me. And he likes to come play. We got work to do, yes? Peekaboo. All right, so I have the Judgment card first out. So are you being too hard on yourself? Just like Cancer, I think. So being a little hard on yourself, I do see that you're carrying a lot more weight than you should be right now. And you might be kind of carrying more than you should. This is the Ten of Wands, which you also may be feeling a little bit as if you're betrayed or that people aren't pulling their weight. What you are looking for right now, there's a lot of relationship energy for Leo going on. So if you want a reading, book your reading, karmaondeck.com. I can't really pull apart your lover's relationship and significant other reading from a general because there's way too many dynamics, but I will say that you have the Lover's card in play. That's always about a power play. You've got a lot of emotions happening for you with the Page of Cups. There is some regret. You want some things to go back to the way they used to be. You might be even losing some sleep over it. You have the Nine of Swords, which is our insomnia, worry, being up at night, or finding yourself having vivid or really exotic, strange, vivid dreams, maybe some lucid dreams. I do have the Nine of Wands for you too, your theme for your moon cards, guys. But the other one, I thought I had three of them. Nine of Wands, Nine of Swords. But you do have the Eight of Swords over here, which I don't think you had the Eight of Swords on the other. Yeah, you did. So Eight of Swords is your correlation card, which is the one that's consistent between the two general and the moon reading. And this one here typically refers to drama. Same theme, different deck, right? So the cards mean the same thing in general, but they have a different tone per deck. So with this one here, the Eight of Swords talks to us about drama. makes us feel like the woe is me kind of thing. If you look at her, I call this my days of our lives. So as far as emotions go, you have the Two of Pentacles, which is those two different paths and decisions that you want to make. You're of two different minds. You know, I'm seeing some regret. And what I mean by regret is just, I wish I could. I wish I had. I wish I could have. I should have. So don't should yourself. A Four of Cups, not enjoying the cups in front of you, thinking about the one you can't have or the one you want to go back to. Now, this could very easily be a lover. It could also just as easily be the way of life that you had, the job that you had, or just even like COVID, right? Politics. We just want it all to go back to normal. Unfortunately, the world changes and time changes and things shift. And what you're looking for is stability. We have the Four of Wands, right? Usually the Four of Wands is our card that indicates, that tells us about relationships, marriage, stability, a covenant, a promise, a way to make things happen for you. Okay, so this card is you looking for commitment, looking for stability, looking for people that are honorable, but you're having this overwhelming feeling of regret. And so remember, the law of attraction and, you know, how to draw abundance to us is coming from gratitude. So let's not look at our problems, because when you look at your problems, you'll create what? More problems. Your viewpoint and how you see the world is how it's going to be reflected back to you. I'm not saying you're a mirror to the world, but your belief system is a mirror. What you believe is how these things are going to show up for you. So we have, like I said, the Nine of Wands in this that tells me that Leo's just tired right now. So what do you do when you're tired? You rest. You don't have to go deep all the time. I mean, if you're still swimming in the ocean, but find a shallow place, song brighter, find the music that inspires you, find a shallow place to rest. You don't have to sink or swim. You can take a break. So if you feel like you need to take a break, take one. Truly, it works. So Fool card again. Just watch your emotions. You keep waffling as well through feeling emotional, and you might even be hiding some of your emotions from others because you have here the Seven of Swords. And that's kind of being sneaky and taking yourself into a private place, and don't stay there too long because recalibrating can turn into pouting too. Yeah, I said what I said. Quit pouting, Leo. All right, here we go. This is your Mystic Dreamer. Sorry, Divination of the Ancients card. Omen. I love it. So start looking for signs. It's telling you to pay attention to omens and signs and things that are around you. Don't be afraid of your intuition. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Like, subscribe, and please share. Book your appointment, karmaondeck.com. And I will catch you on the flip side, because I will be right here, right back with Virgo, because I keep getting nagged about Virgo. Leslie, I'll sell. Tico, I got people that are like, what? So here we go for Virgo. I'll catch you on the flip side.